Life before the internet, when phones had cords, maps were made of paper, and cat videos were just real cats in real time. Welcome to the world of the 1960s and 1970s, where if you wanted to know something, you had to actually ask a person or open a book, like an actual physical book. Today we're going on a hilarious, eye-opening, and maybe even a little shocking journey through time to see what life was really like before the internet came along and turned everything into Googleable magic. And yes, people did survive. Mostly. But be warned, you may never complain about slow Wi-Fi again. 1. Research before Google. Before you could type, "What's the capital of Paraguay?" into a search bar, you had to do something radical. Go to the library and not just stroll in and say, "Hey, what's the answer?" No. You had to navigate the Dewey Decimal System, which was basically like doing Sudoku while blindfolded. You'd flip through endless index cards and massive drawers, the card catalog, hoping your book wasn't already checked out. Let's not forget encyclopedias, giant, alphabetized books that sat on proud display in living rooms, collecting dust. If your family had a full set of Britannica, you were basically upper middle class. Speaking head, remember that time you needed to do a report on volcanoes, and you only had a 1971 edition, so Mount St. Helens hadn't even erupted yet? Yeah, you were doomed. Do you remember using an encyclopedia? Or was that just something your grandparents talked about? Drop your weirdest research story in the comments. Telephone receiver too. Making plans without phones. There was no text me when you're there. If you were meeting a friend at the mall at 3 p.m., you better be there at 3 p.m. or assume they were dead. If you were running late, too bad. You had to find a payphone, hope they were near one too, and had a quarter handy. Or worse call collect. Telephone, will you accept a call from? I'm at the mall, I'll be home by 7. True story. There were even phone trees, organized systems where one person would call two people, and they'd each call two people, and so on. Basically, a prehistoric group chat powered by guilt and obligation. Link, can you imagine trying to organize a surprise party this way? No, WhatsApp group. Just 10 people and a phone that's attached to the kitchen wall. 3. Entertainment was scheduled. Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, PSHHH. Back then, if you wanted to watch something, you had to be in front of the TV at the exact right moment. If you missed it, that was it. Gone. Maybe reruns in a year. Maybe. And we had like 5 channels. Tops. TV guides were like sacred scrolls. Families would plan entire evenings around when the Brady Bunch or I Love Lucy was airing. And Saturday morning? That was cartoon heaven. If you overslept, no cartoons until next week. Imagine telling a Gen Z kid that you only got one chance a week to see Bugs Bunny. Megaphone audience prompt. What was your go-to Saturday morning cartoon? Anyone remember that excitement when the theme song came on? Video cassette, also no DVR. If you had to pee during the commercial break, you ran. 4. Shopping before online stores. 12 to 1500 hours. Amazon? Never heard of her. Back then, if you wanted something, you got dressed, went outside, drove to a store, and hoped they had it. No reviews. No filters. Just vibes. Want a new shirt? Better hope it's in your size and in stock. And if you were really high-tech, you shopped from a catalog, like the Sears Wish book. That thing was thick. Kids used to circle their Christmas presents in there like they were filing official requests with Santa Claus. And don't forget the legendary experience of Black Friday, before it was even called that. Just people physically fighting over toasters at 6 a.m. with no viral video to record it. Shopping bags. Ever tried returning something back then? You needed the receipt, the original box, and the favor of the retail gods. Open mailbox with raised flag. 5. Communication, letters, and long distance. Want to talk to someone far away? You wrote a letter, by hand, with a pen, then bought a stamp, found an envelope, and walked it to a mailbox. Then you'd wait, maybe a week, maybe 2, and long-distance phone calls? Those cost money. You kept a timer running like you were in a hostage negotiation. Pen. Dear cousin, sorry it took 3 weeks to reply. I had to find my good pen. Did you ever have a pen pal? Or get a love letter? Let's get sappy in the comments, or awkward, we don't judge. 6. Navigation before GPS. Getting lost was a part of life. There was no Google Maps. You had a paper map, the kind you unfolded once and could never fold back correctly. Or maybe you printed directions off MapQuest in the late 90s and hoped the driver didn't miss a turn. And if they did, panic. You were just lost. Or you asked for directions, which always started with go down past the gas station that burned down in '83. Have you ever gotten hopelessly lost because someone said, just take a left after the big oak tree? 7. Computers were a luxury. In the 60s and 70s, computers were sci-fi. NASA had them. Your home didn't. Even into the 80s, a family with a personal computer was rare. And it wasn't for memes. It was for spreadsheets and educational games like Oregon Trail, where you died of dysentery every time. Data? Stored on floppy disks that held less than a modern JPEG. Desktop computer, if you wanted to copy and paste, you literally got out scissors and glue. Camera with flash 8. Photos took time. You couldn't see a photo instantly. You took the picture, hoped your thumb wasn't in the frame, and then waited. Camera film had to be developed. Sometimes you'd wait weeks to get the photos back, only to realize they were blurry or someone blinked. And selfies? You either used a mirror or just guessed and hoped your head was in the shot. Got any hilarious old photos where you thought you looked cool, but now you're like, what was I wearing? Share the cringe. Brain 9. Life lessons from a pre-internet era. The world was slower, more patient, sometimes more frustrating, but also more personal. You had to remember phone numbers, actually talk to strangers, and use your brain in ways we don't anymore. It wasn't better or worse, just different. Maybe we've gained convenience, but lost a little bit of magic too. The excitement of waiting. The joy of finding a book in a library. The thrill of catching your favorite show at the exact right moment. So, could you survive the 60s and 70s? No Google, no smartphones, no memes, just rotary phones, VHS tapes, and asking your neighbor for sugar. Let me know in the comments. What part of this old school lifestyle do you secretly miss? Or are you glad you were born in the Wi-Fi era? And hey, if you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a video, which, let's be honest, they didn't even have in the 70s. See you next time. And remember, if your internet goes out, just pretend it's 1975 and go read a book.